You come to South Coast and you cross the ferry, it's a feeling of you're going to a different world. Yeah? Although there are some delays there, but the experience is unique. South Coast has been voted for the third time to be the best beach in Africa, and it is one of the cleanest beach you have in Africa actually. In South Coast there's approximately 20 big beach hotels. However, there are smaller institutions like cottages and holiday houses, which also employ a lot of people. Approximately, I think there are about over 6,000 people employed in these establishments. Again, there are tattoos in the ocean. You can go to these sides of Charlie Island and you can swim with sharks at the same time. Therefore, it's a very unique combination. The waters are very warm again, people can swim. They don't have very strong winds, they are very safe to swim. Around Charlie Island, there are some areas which are swampy, and these swampy areas have got mud which is said to be very good for the skin. So people also go there as part of their holiday, they go to swim, they smear mud on their skin, and in the process they open the hose and they are very healthy. They are good for body wraps. Baobab is the biggest hotel actually in South Coast. It has got a total of 323 rooms. Baobab does employ, in good seasons, about 400 people. So 400 people with homesteads of an average of 5, it means 2,000 people are taken care of by this place. People come here from beach holiday, they stay here, then after that they go to these game parks. So the game parks also, even as far as Masai Mara, they do benefit from the beach hotels in South Coast. And of course, we do run a system known as all inclusive. This means guests pay a package. They come here, they get their drinks, food, snacks, accommodation, all included. We don't run a system whereby it's half board or full board. And it's an hotel which is owned by a family from UK, and a little bit of this hotel is also owned by TUI. TUI is the biggest tour operator in the world. If you go to the beach, you find a lot of beach operators who are selling their services like curios, safaris. All these people are benefiting economically from the tourists who come here. This is an economic factor. They contribute a lot to the economy of the people. If you have 6,000 people, each one with a homestead of about 5 people, that means over 30,000 people depend on tourism around this area. We do buy a lot of things locally, and therefore we are supporting the local community. We do support, for example, Kwale mentally challenged school. We do support them with beddings, with the food. We do involve our guests. Every Tuesday we do a bingo, and whichever money we get, we take it to Kwale mentally. This is a way of giving back to the community. It's part of our social cooperative responsibility.
Mamba Village started in 1994, and this place used to be a quarry. The place, they were mining the coral reefs for the cement manufacturing, and the one who were dealing with this place they were bamboo cement. From the time goes by, there was an Israeli man who introduced this place, because the place used to be a wasteland. He rehabilitated the land by planting different type of trees. Like here we can get the almond fruit, we can get neem trees. Those are the plants which they can make this place to be useful for the attraction site. That time now he came up with another way whereby he can make this also to be a crocodile site. So it started with 600 crocodile by taking this crocodile from Tana River. Yeah, so from that time, yeah, he maneuvered that crocodile until now we have more than 10,000 crocodile in our farm. So the main aim of this crocodile, we were to use this crocodile for selling for meat and also for skin manufacturing. Like here, we normally export this skin from different countries. Yeah, like USA, France, even Italy. Yeah, but we normally sell this skin for better price. Yeah, so when we consider this crocodile skin with the meat, so the expensive part is the skin. So we don't we consider this meat is just for we sell them locally, maybe in our restaurant, hotels, or even nearby pubs. Yeah, but for main aim is for making this for us to get a good leather from crocodile skin. In Mamba Village, we have two farms. We have a crocodile farm and also we have a botanic farm. So crocodile farm, we normally specialize with only crocodiles. And we have our major attraction called Big Daddy. It's the biggest crocodile over 100 years. He's weighing 800 kilos, 5 meters long, and he lives with 2 wives. That is Salma and Sasha. And also we have more than 10,000 crocodiles in our farm. We have the snake farm, and also we have the aquarium farm, and also we have the plants area, whereby when you go to the snake area, we can see different type of snake. We have like this green mamba, we have python, we have grass snakes, we have sand snakes, and we have a snake which we can interact with. This snake has been tamed, and this snake is called python. We can hold it and we can make photo from this snake. So when we go to the aquarium, we have different type of fish, and this concerned with the marine fish. Yeah, and these are salt fish. We can get fish like clownfish. We have also stonefish. We can get lionfish. We can get puffer fish. We can get silver moon. We can get even organism like sea animals, which go close with clownfish. Yeah, they normally behave like symbiotic relationship. Yeah, we can get even different type of fish like barracuda and many more. When you go to the botanic area dealing with the plants, we have different type of plants like orchids. We can get insectivorous plants, we can get pitcher plants, we can get even the flycatcher, that is Dutchman's pipe, and many more. About this crocodile, they have slow digestion system. They normally feed them once in a week. This our normal feeding can be 1 day in a week, but we normally also organize a feeding show to attract the visitors, and this normally happen at 5. We normally have our ramp, feeding ramp, and we make the crocodile jump high, and we twist them so that we can see their reaction. Yeah, the way they do scramble for that food, the way they do fight for that food. And sometimes also we can interact them by dropping some food down and to see their movement. Yeah.
My name is Adnan Swaleh. I'm a tour guide at the fort. So a brief history of the fort. This takes us back to the 14th century when the Portuguese were looking for a sea route to India. In India, it was the main marketplace for spices, and everybody in the world was looking for spices. So the main marketplace for spices was India, Goa. So the Portuguese sent Vasco da Gama to look for the sea route to India. And Vasco da Gama came all the way from Portugal and landed in Mombasa. On reaching Mombasa, he found the Arabs who were already settled there. The Arabs were Muslims and Vasco da Gama was a Christian. So they found it challenging to allow a Christian to come in Mombasa, spread Christianity. So what they did, they sent Vasco da Gama away. Vasco da Gama went to Malindi. The people in Malindi were friendly, so he stayed there for about a year. Then he was given a sailor to take him to India, where he got the spices and came back to Malindi. He stayed in Malindi for some time and later reported back to Portugal. He gave the news to the king, and at that time the king was King Philip. So on hearing the news, the king sent a fleet of 4,000 soldiers. So they came all the way from Portugal to Mombasa. On reaching Mombasa, they raided the place and took over. So when they reached Mombasa, they found a coral reef. What they did, they just carved the coral reef to form the lower part of the fort. And a coral reef is just limestone. So when you cut limestone, you get lime. So they mixed lime, clay, sand and water to serve as cement. So they built the fort for 3 years. So that's from 1593 to 1596. Then the fort was shaped in the shape of a human being to symbolize, say, Jesus. That's why it was named for Jesus. So it has a head, yeah. It has a head, arms, body and legs. And initially when it was built, it had 4 entrances. So that's the main entrance. Number 2 was the passage of the axe. Number 3 was the passage of the steps. And lastly, there was a secret passage. The secret passage was used in case of surprise attacks. The soldiers used to exit from the fort through the secret passage to the beach, then prepare themselves and later come back to the fort. But it was rarely used. So after building the fort, the Portuguese stayed here for 106 years. So they stayed here from 1596 all the way to 1698 when there was a siege, a 33-month siege. So the siege started in 1696 and 2 years 9 months, so it takes from 1696 to 1698. So after the siege, during the siege, the soldiers were not allowed to go in or out of the fort. So the soldiers started dying due to starvation and diseases. The diseases were such as the Black Plague. So they died all the way from 400 to 15. So only 15 soldiers remained in the fort. So the Arabs who had laid the siege later came in and they asked for the captain. So they were tricked that the captain is in the gunpowder store. So on reaching to the gunpowder store, there were 2 Arabs and 1 Portuguese soldier who was leading them. So when they got into the gunpowder store, they didn't see the captain. So the Portuguese soldier lit a match and it exploded. The gunpowder room exploded. So it was like a suicide bombing. 2 Arabs and 1 Portuguese soldier died. The rest of the Arabs looked for the captain all over the fort and they found the captain in the Omani house. So that's why the captain was assassinated, plus the remaining 13 soldiers. And the Portuguese reign ended there. So the Arabs took over. The Arabs stayed here for 100+ years and later gave up the fort to the British for safekeeping because they were fearing the Italians in Somali or the Germans in Tanzania. So they thought either of these 2 might come and take over Mombasa, so they gave up the fort to the British for safekeeping. After taking over the fort, the British became greedy, so they betrayed the Arabs and forcefully took over the fort. So when the Arabs plus the locals started rebelling, they were taken and imprisoned in the fort. So it became the first prison in Kenya. To control the prisoners, the British had to block all the entrances. So the 3 passages were blocked. That's the passage of the steps, passage of the axe, and the secret passage were all blocked, leaving the main entrance. So Fort Jesus was declared a national monument in 1960, and it was declared a World Heritage Site in 2011. Many tourists usually visit Mombasa to see the fort for themselves because there are many documentaries about the fort. So many people obviously want to see the fort in real life. We have the museum gallery. It's actually a nice place. You should visit it. There's the Mazrui Hall. At first, when the fort was built, it was used by the Portuguese as a reception. But when the Arabs took over, they used it as a meeting hall. And there's also the Portuguese oil paintings. So back in the 14th century, there are no social media. So when the soldiers got bored, they used to draw paintings on walls. These paintings were later preserved, and they're there in the Portuguese oil paintings. So if you happen to visit fort, you should see the Portuguese oil paintings. One of the Portuguese soldiers' skeleton was discovered in the fort in 1990 by one of the staff. It's not the original skeleton, it's just but a replica of the original. The original skeleton is beneath the replica. And another attraction, let's say the old place. It's actually a nice place to visit.
My name is Karim Manyinge. I am the Ecotourism and Customer Service Officer. I've been working for Lafarge Ecosystem, which is a subsidiary of Bamburi Cement, for the last 12 years now. Hala Park is a Bamburi product, and this is exactly where Bamburi started mining. And mining started back in 1954. And I continued up to 1970. So this is around a total of around 16, 17 years old. Today, this facility is as old as around 43, 44 years now. And it has actually modeled as an ecosystem. And the whole instance of us being here is that we're in the support of Bamburi Cement business, whereby Bamburi, this Mombasa plant, basically deals with cement production. Us as a subsidiary, Lafarge Ecosystem, we do the ecosystem development and management. Today, Hala Park is known for various reasons, and it actually caters for various stakeholders. Why is it a tourist destination is? Today, Hala Park offers a variety of actual animal species. We have giraffes in, hippos, different species of antelopes, crocodiles, snakes, fish, tortoises, and many other several species, including monkeys and birds. Now, why? It has been known as a tourist destination, not only tourist, but is actually an ecotourism destination, meaning that this is exactly where tourists will appreciate the efforts in conservation and also meet their expression in terms of what they want to actually see and actually satisfy their needs when they go out in safaris. This is the place where they'll not be actually riding in vehicles, but they'll be walking. It's something they will be touching some of the animals, they'll be feeding some of these animals. So for these reasons, Hala Park is actually one of the areas which have been widely known as an ecotourism destination along the east coast of Mombasa, actually around here, Bamburi. For one, to actually enjoy an immediate expedition, the best action are actually displayed well in the afternoon. This is actually when we bring these animals close by to the public. The giraffes are normally fed twice a day at 11 in the morning and at 3 o'clock. This is where one gets an opportunity to feed these giraffes by buying a packet of pellets. You stretch up the hand, then the giraffes pick these pellets using either their tongue or their lips. The other attractions, of course, are crocodiles, which are fed at 4:30. Again, hippos, buffaloes, antelopes are fed at 4 o'clock. And also we give those who visit an opportunity to see snakes enclosed. Now, the big reason why these snakes are enclosed in, one, it offers as a refuge center for snakes, because as we all know, many of us don't actually appreciate snakes, because many times we cannot tell which ones are venomous and which ones are not. So for these reasons, we've actually made efforts and have a collection of those snakes who actually occurring here locally. Again, by having these snakes in, this way is actually to demonstrate and tell people the kind of snakes who occur in our areas where we live, and how they behave, and their contribution in terms of human life cycle. The other thing which is very, very important for and is known for Hala Park, that we support bamboo cement business in the sense that when they finish mining, we move in and rehabilitate the quarries. In rehabilitation, we focus on ecosystem creation. One of the areas we've managed to create now is we've developed some aquatic activities. We have a fish farm running, whereby we sell fish, mainly tilapia. We also raise crocodiles for various functions, one as an attraction, and the second role they contribute is to offload any dead animal within our system. So they're here basically to take care of the carrions or the carcasses. And in this process, they are very important as part and parcel of the entire ecosystem and ecology of the place. The other thing is that Hala Park also offers so much in terms of education, as this is a place whereby students will come and exercise their skills, their knowledge and ideas they gather in schools in terms of practices. This is where they actually put their gathered knowledge in established practices, as those who actually gather skills in aquatic sciences and environmental sciences, in zoology, in herpetology. This is actually the place where all these practices can actually be transformed into practices and make them become better Kenyans in terms of actually practicing what will bring human value.
So generally, if you look at the Swahili art itself, it's an art which is mainly produced all over the coast of Mombasa, East Africa, let's put it this way, starting from Lamu, going onwards to Mombasa, going down to Dar es Salaam, and more also in Zanzibar. This is basically where mostly the Swahili people who live along the coast of East Africa. So generally, you see, Swahili art has a lot of influence from outside also. Basically from Persia, Oman, and also from India. If you see a lot of furniture pieces which are made here, in especially furniture made from hardwood for the house, for the doors, for the houses and all. These have designs which were brought over by sailors, let's put it by sailors who came by dhows during the early 1900s. And mostly the sailors who first came here were from Iran and Oman. They brought in their own culture, intermarried with the Swahili people, especially in Lamu and Malindi and in south of the coast of Kenya. There's a place called Shiraz, just near Shimoni. I don't know if you know about Shimoni, but there's a place called Shimoni. There's a small fishing village called Shiraz. These were basically people who came over from Iran and they settled here and intermarried with the local people, and brought their new ideas into the country, into furniture making, into fabrics and etc. So now if you look at especially most of the furniture pieces which are made here, especially in Kenya and in Zanzibar, these have a lot of influence from, as I said, from India and Oman and from Iran, especially in the designs where doors are made. If you concentrate on doors, these are basically designs which you can also find in these other countries. We have this Arabic chest. Some of this Arabic chests were brought over by dhows in the early 1800, 1900, when we had a barter trade with the dhow trade, which they stopped in the early 1970s. So a lot of furniture used to be brought here into East Africa, into Kenya, and it went around from Lamu to Mombasa to Zanzibar, and in return they would take goods from here, ivory and poles and all that. So you see, they used to bring a lot of furniture pieces by dhows, and especially one item which is very popular till today is the so-called Arabic chest. Some of these chests were made, especially designs which are known today still as names from certain Indian towns. Like we have certain designs which we make here known as Surti chests, and then there's a Shirazi chest. These are basically chests which actually came from abroad, from these countries. So you see, after being introduced here, then the local artisans, they reproduced and made their own designs. So now you see, in terms, you now started calling them as Lamu chest, Zanzibari chest, or originally they came from abroad. From mostly they came from India and from Iran. The other thing is also there's a lot of influence from the Indian side. You see, when the Indians were brought here to build the railway, a lot of these people, after the railway was completed, a lot of these people stayed behind. So they opened furniture shops, they opened carpentry shops in Kenya. So a lot of these designs which you see today resemble with a lot of the designs which you can find in places like Surat in India. Very similar designs, like what we call the Lamu bed today. These also you can find in India as Surat beds, you see. So there is a lot of influence from outside in the Swahili furniture. And lately, you see, when we had a tourist boom here in the 1900s to 2000, when we had a lot of tourists coming into Kenya. So a lot of hotels then decided to go into, in a sense, to furnish their hotels with Swahili furniture, which definitely has a niche market. You see, not everyone likes this furniture. It's quite expensive, but it has a small market. So most of the hotels along the coast of Kenya, most of the 4-5-star hotels, they decided to invest and go into a lot of Swahili furniture, because being Swahili culture along the coast, that was one way of promoting the furniture. And then there was a trend created where a lot of private houses also felt like buying Swahili furniture to place in their houses, because some of the items are made out of hardwood, are unique things which today very difficult to find hardwood in the world market. It's only in Africa and especially in South America where you have large tracts of hardwood forests. So we are lucky enough that we still have hardwood, and we can reproduce all this furniture here in Kenya. We've been dealing in all the Swahili kind of furniture for the last 30 years. The trend was that a lot of people appreciated this furniture, but lately, because of tourism being down, we're having a sort of downfall in our sales, because there are not many tourists who are coming to Kenya. Plus, the hotels are not buying as much because of not much of tourist business. So it has affected a lot of carpentry shops who are dealing in Swahili furniture along the coast of Kenya, especially in towns like Malindi, Lamu, Mombasa. All these shops, all these carpentry shops who used to manufacture a lot of this Swahili furniture are having problems at the moment. But hopefully, once things improve, things should get better. Plus, over the years, people have diversified. There's a lot of Swahili art gone into fashion, into interior decoration, like artifacts like lamps, wall hangings. So you find a lot of other new varieties forming out of all this, especially if you look at some of the kangas which are being produced. They are very vibrant colors and very nice pieces, which are now being used in also abroad in fashion designers, by abroad interior fashion design. Also, we find that a lot of inquiries we get sometimes from fashion designers abroad looking for Swahili art, Swahili culture materials. So there is a slight improvement and trend that things might get better. And plus, with the Swahili culture being so old, there is a possibility that in years to come, that this furniture will be also accepted abroad, because there have been a lot of inquiries from people abroad also, who these days, when they see some products on the internet, they want to know where and how are these pieces made. So hopefully in time you'll see a spread of Swahili art also in many other countries.
Ama mavazi ya Kiswahili ni kanzu ya mwanamke. Tukisema kanzu, zote zinaitwa kanzu. Mwanamke zamani alikuwa akivaa leso, kanga 3, kanga 2, moja akivaa kwenye mafani na moja akijitanda, na ndani ya kanga alikuwa akivaa kirinda. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa mavazi yao ya zamani. Kisha yakabadilika mavazi yale, ikawa wamevaa kanzu. Nafikiri alipokuja Wahindi wengi alikuwa washoni, ikabidi sasa na wao walikuwa na marinda yale, na wanaume wakivaa nini? Wakivaa kanzu za msikitini zile nyeupe, na kilemba na kofia na kikaketera ni ambacho ni kikoti cha Kiswahili. Na kanzu zao sana huwa ni shashi, huwa ni zile kanzu nyembamba za wanaume. na wanawake vile vile walikuwa wakivaa shash, kitambara ambacho chaonesha wakivaa zamani, lakini sasa wanavaa kanzu. Na mwanamke akiwa katika wedding ndio anavaa kanzu ya kisawasawa kama ya neti ya nini. Nguo zao sana ni leso. Hata ukionana na mwanamume wakati wa kuolewa unapata leso mbili, moja ya mume, moja ya mke. Unafahamu? Leso ndo muhimu. Ukienda kwa Mswahili sasa utaona leso zimeingia katika kabati zaidi ya 20. Wanatumia leso kwa kila upande. Wanatumia leso kwa kuvaa, leso kwa kuvaa, leso kwa kupikia, leso kwa kutandia mtoto, leso kwa kumfungia mangea mtoto akishaoga. Leso, kila kitu kwa Waswahili ni leso. Hakuna tofauti. Leso ndio muhimu ya Waswahili. Leso unapokuwa matured, puberty, unapawa leso. Leso moja ya kufanyia kazi na leso ya kuswalia. Leso ndio muhimu kwa Waswahili. Haya, twende kwa vyakula sasa. Chakula cha Waswahili apendacho sana mandazi. Nikisema mandazi ni uandazi, mahamri, mkate wa sinia, kitumbua, mkate wa mayai, kapushi, wengine anaitwa kibibi. Katika vyakula kama mbaazi, mli hizo, mbaazi, kunde, muhogo, fiwi, na maharago si chakula chetu sana, kimekuja tu. Na wali, tuna wali mwingi, wali wa pilau, wali asmini, wali wa kitunguu, birinzi, tunaita birinzi. Tuna wali wa samli, tuna na wali wa biriani. Hizi ni part of vyakula ambavyo Waswahili wanatumia. Na vile vile tunatumia chapati, mkate wa ufuta, tunatumia mkate wa vitunguu, tuna vitumbua, vitu kama vitumbua, mkate wa sinia, kitu kama mchapati, mkate wa mayai, tunatumia unga. Kitu kama muhogo, viazi vya nazi, mbaazi, hii tunatumia sana nazi. Samaki wa kupaka, samaki wa kukaanga, samaki wa kuoka. Samaki kama hawa vile vile wanatumika wakati gani? Wakati wa harusi.
I was born in Mombasa, raised in Mombasa. I went to school, primary school, secondary school, and I've also been working in Mombasa. As you had asked, The famous Mombasa Tusks were built in 1952. They were built because when the Queen Elizabeth visited Mombasa during that period, and he got the news of his father, King George, has passed away, the people of Mombasa decided to build the tusk to commemorate the Queen's visit in Mombasa. Apart from the tusks, there is also a park, a resting place, which is called Uhuru Gardens. Uhuru Garden is a place which was built as people go there, relax. The tusks are along the Moi Avenue in Mombasa. We have a lot of companies on the Moi Avenue. On those days it was called Kilindini Road. And after work, during lunch hour, those days, many days, we didn't have a lot of places to go to eat. They were mostly very expensive because they were big hotels owned by the Europeans and the Asians. So the Uhuru Gardens were used as a resting place during the lunch hour break. There were some small movable kiosks. People could buy sodas, cakes, biscuits, and rest between 12:30 up to 2 o'clock. And then people go back to work. But on the weekends, it became a popular place. People living from the surrounding areas, from Ganjoni, from the old town, from Majengo, from Chuda, they could come up also and spend some time there with their families. So basically, there is not much history of the tusks, but they were put up there to remember when Queen Elizabeth was in Kenya during her visit and his father died in England. So the people of Mombasa decided to put up the tusks. Although now it's one of the major tourist attractions. Okay, we have, I remember when I was in primary school, we use once in a year, I remember we paid a small fee and we came up to the tusks. We took up some photographs and then we saw a lot of Europeans. It has been a big European site. If you come to Mombasa and you have to come and visit the tusks, a lot of people come to take pictures. A lot of people from upcountry, especially during the school holidays, colleges, universities, etc. Most of the people from upcountry normally come to the tusks, and you will find a lot of people like to come and see the tusks. It's one of the famous places in Mombasa. Apart from tourists, also the local people. So basically, that's the small history of the Tusks, Mombasa. It is a tourist attraction, but nowadays even we have local tourists. They also come and visit the Tusks. During those days, we also had some curio shops where the Europeans, the tourists, they used to come and buy some wood carvings, their Kamba wood carvings. They would pay cash. Sometimes they would do barter trade with the owners of the curios. They could give them their hats, their t-shirts, their shoes, their track suits, in exchange for the wood carving. So basically, it is one of the major sites in Mombasa. So when you come to Mombasa, it's a place everyone wants to visit. The lighthouse, or nowadays it's called Mamangina Drive. It's an open, it's like an open park place. We have two areas. One area, it's under the shade. We have big baobab trees. We have benches. They've been there for many years. And a lot of families come there during the weekends to come and enjoy refreshments, socialize with other people, meet. It's like a picnic place. In those days, we used to have soda vendors, kachiri vendors, cassava, and madafu vendors. They could walk around and ask people if you want a soda, madafu, while the mother, the father, and the children are sitting relaxing. You can sit on the bench, you can sit on the ground. It's a wonderful place. It's quite cool. Then there is the other area which is open. The other open area, it's adjacent to the sea. From there you can see the Likoni ferry crossing to and fro from the island to the mainland. You can watch the ship coming into the port, and it's a place where you can have nice cool breeze from the Indian Ocean. It's another place where also people, mostly the local people from Mombasa, they go on the weekends. I remember when I was a young kid, me and my elder brother, he used to take me on Saturday afternoon. There was a place where they used to sell madafu and cassava, and then we used to sit there. He used to have a radio. He opens up his radio. We enjoy the music and we enjoy the cool breeze from the Indian Ocean. But again, Mamangina, or the lighthouse, now it's a major tourist attraction in Mombasa. You find a lot of tourists when they come to Mombasa. You see the vans with a lot of tourists moving, stopping, taking some pictures, taking some coconut drinks. We have a lot of small shops or vendors selling different items. But nowadays it is not only for the weekend. Even the weekdays, you can find the coastal people, someone going there, parking his car, playing some music into the car and enjoying the breeze from the Indian Ocean. We also have a lot of people from upcountry, apart from the tourists, especially during the school holidays. They use it also like a camp during the day. When the schools are closed, you see a lot of buses, a lot of students coming in, spending actually the whole day like camping there, and they can take a walk sometimes down to the sea level. They take some pictures. They can have good views of the Likoni ferry, good views of the lighthouse, and the same lighthouse, it also leads way towards the State House and towards Fort Jesus. So actually it's a very popular area now between the lighthouse and the State House going towards Fort Jesus. It's a popular spot now for everyone. On a daily basis, you will find people enjoying taking some refreshments, others just relaxing, spending the afternoon there, and then going home in the evening. As I said, apart from tourists, apart from the local people, people are also getting some business, the local people. It's generating income for their families by selling the food items. It also helps them to generate some income for some other people. So that is where everybody on the weekends would like to go and spend some time, socialize with family, socialize with friends. It's a socializing area. Yes.
Again.